Okay. So, welcome to the Enlightened Voices podcast. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Go ahead, before we even get started, like, share, and subscribe to my channel, please. Welcome to all the beautiful people looking to cultivate better and healthier personal and professional relationships. So, let's transform our mind and our lives together. Today, on this lovely Wednesday, I have Miss Sarah Osby. We are going to be talking about your mindset. This is a author, a number one selling author, a mindset coach, a beautiful melanated woman, and she is going to be diving into how we can transform our mindset and give a little bit more information about her book and more things that she has to come. So before we get started, Miss Sarah, I just want to give you the floor to give yourself the proper flowers that you deserve.
Thank you, China. I so appreciate it. And I am excited to be here this morning. As China said, I am Sarah Osby. I am a mindset transformation coach, a motivational speaker, best-selling author, and the producer of the Voices on Paper 8-City Book Tour. So I am here today to help you take steps to transform your mindset and change your life.
I love that so much. That is just so in alignment with me because self awareness is the best thing that ever happened to me. It really is. Just to get right into it, and as we pretty much have gave those great introductions, I feel like it's only right that we start talking about the power of awareness and how it really can benefit you and help you to elevate your life and transform it in the ways that you want to see. It gives you kind of like a sense of more control over what's actually going on in your life, or at least if not control, you at least have a better understanding. So the first question I want to ask you is how, especially as a mindset coach, how can someone begin to practice like mindfulness in their daily life? And once they start, do you feel like there's any type of benefits that they will immediately begin to see?
Yes, and in this area, I particularly speak to personal experience. I like to share so that people can understand that I do relate to where they are, what they're going through. So there was a time, and I don't know if I spoke of this before and you heard, but there was a time when in my mid 40s where I was riddled, my entire body was riddled with pain, and I could barely stand up straight, right? And at that time in my life, I was a person that would I had very limiting beliefs. I'll say that. Very limiting beliefs. I can't, it's impossible. I'm getting too old. I don't have this. I'm not good enough. All of those things I possessed at that time. And because of that, that's the way my life was. I didn't have much of much. Um, because of that mindset. And by much, I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about self-esteem, confidence, things like that. I didn't have much of much. And so as I went on, there came a point, and I was 46 years old, and I said, I'm sick of this. This is not going to be the rest of my life. This is not. This cannot just be it. I'm not just here just for this. So, in that moment, that's when I decided that I needed to lean into my faith. I made a decision. It all starts with a decision. I made the decision that this is not it. It has to be more. There's going to be better. I just have to find a way, right? Well, that way was my faith. That was the way for me. It was my faith. Standing in and on that faith is what brought me through. It what helped me to understand that I needed to transform my mindset, that I would literally have whatever I say out of my mouth. I would have it, whether it's a day later, week, month, year, or years, I will have it because I proclaimed those things. I declared those things over my own self. So I had to change that. That's the first step, is learning what your limiting beliefs are. And then next, you need to understand how to overcome those beliefs so that you can move forward.
Yes,
So,
that is so great. I literally just my Monday episode was very similar to that because a lot of people they don't know where to begin. When it comes to self-awareness and just being aware in general. And like I tell people, for me, what kind of changed my mind was I had a moment of realization that I knew everybody around me better than I knew myself. I
mm,
knew what made everybody else happy. I knew how to please everybody else around me that I loved. And I noticed how much time and effort I took into paying attention to those people and learning those people, and looked back and realized just how much I had neglected myself to do those things.
yeah,
And a lot of the times it's out of fear. It's not because you actually care, about having people around you, but you do it because you want people around you. So you want to learn ways to keep these people around you.
yeah. Well, that's
And I
called
think
people
that's,
pleasing
yes,
and self
the
abandonment.
devil, the devil.
And that certainly is of the adversary. Yes.
So can you go into just a little bit more of your personal experience? Like, at what point did you realize that you needed to write a book?
Ooh. Oh, my goodness. So, the writing was 10 years in the making. Um, so, as a child, I was a journaler, but I was discouraged from journaling. I was told that I should not be writing down all my personal thoughts and feelings that someone could one day find and use against me to hurt me. So I stopped
Okay.
writing. I stopped writing. But that, and I can't say anything except that's the time that we lived in. That was the mindset back then. So, in the area that I was in. So, I took it for what it was. I'm not angry or upset or anything about that. Everything is for a reason, right? So I was discouraged for that time. But then as an adult, my children began to say to me, as I would tell them things that I experienced in my childhood and my youth and growing up, and they would say, "You should write a book and tell a story, Mom." And then other people would hear things that I would say, and they would say that I should write my story. For 10 years, this went on until a faithful day in June of 2021. And there was the time when I didn't watch lives on social media. I would particularly scroll past them in 2021 all the way up until 2021. I just wasn't interested, or at least I didn't think I was. So I was prejudging everything. I'm telling you, that was my
Uh-huh.
mindset. And so uh, one day in June, this amazing, gorgeous woman comes on live, and she's on my food page. And so I'm scrolling and I see it and it stops there. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to watch nobody live, but I could not scroll. I could not
Mhm.
scroll past it. So I listened. And as I listened to her talk about this talk she had with God and what God was telling her to do, and the 7 mile walk that she had done, and then she did a call to action. And she asked if God had called you to write your story, for you to say me in the chat, right? Or you can DM her the word me in the chat, in the comments. So I go me, and I'm like, oh God, why did I do that? Like, why did I do that? um well, I did it because God said move now is the time, and I moved with the urgency that I heard the voice. So that is why I moved so quickly. And then after, I was like, oh my goodness, but God knows me better than I know myself, and anyone that does know me will understand and know this about me. If I
Yeah.
say that I'm going to do it, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. There has been so far few and in between times when I've said, I'm sorry, I can't do that. No, I do everything in my power to make it happen. So I got with her. We did the author call. I our author consult call, and she invited me to be an official author in this book, Stand Up: Resilient Black Women Who Are Shaping the World with Their Faith, Volume 1. And
Ooh,
yeah, Volume 1, because there are 3 volumes, and this was the pioneer of it all, Volume 1. And this book made me an international best-selling author in this book.
wow.
Yeah,
How many
because of
stories
that.
are in that book?
18. There are 18
18?
stories in this book. Yeah. It's
Wow.
an amazing anthology movement. It really is. And because, thank you, God, I can't ever help myself because I am a proud member of the community and this book. And yes, there's a community, Resilient Black Women Community on Facebook.
Ah,
But there is also a stand up authors revival and award ceremony, and it's annual. And so every October, and this October, it will take place in Charlotte, North Carolina. So
what
um,
day?
it is October 3rd through the 6th, and there is a
Oh,
website that has been launched. So early bird tickets are available, and you can find that just by going to Facebook, and you can find it at Ardenae Gardner's page. Ardenae Gardner,
okay.
the author of this book here, Miss Ardenae Gardner. She is the visionary author on this book. So you can find the information on her page. I can never help myself when talking about stand up because of this anthology movement. I did stand up. I no longer cared about writing my story and the judgment that may come,
Yeah,
the naysayers, because that is what stopped me for 10 years, because I was concerned, I was afraid of people. What are they going to say? What are they going to say?
yeah,
They're going to judge me. What are they going to think
right.
of me? All of those things. But those too are limiting beliefs. And I had to
Yeah,
overcome them. How did I overcome them? With prayer, with prayer. I'm telling you, this is how I did it, with prayer and then with action, because faith without works is dead. So I sat myself down and I began to write. And as I began to write, I began to heal at a deeper level. And
yeah,
our name speaks of this all the time, at a deeper level. And in that healing, there was such a great release, such a great release. And I gave myself the grace and forgiveness that I always needed and deserved, because God said I do. Not says, but said, in past
yeah.
tense. He said it. And we know everything he said is true, and it has come to pass and will continue to. So,
I love that so much. That is just so beautiful, especially because, like, had you been able to scroll past it, there's no guarantee that you would have been in the position that you are today.
I would not
So
have
that's
been.
just one of those things. Like, it was so many different signs that kept you in that moment. And when
Yes,
you're aware and you're really paying attention and more so of being obedient, it is so easy to just walk into the blessings that God really has for you. And I think
yes.
that that's how, when you see people, because I feel like a lot of people, because I didn't grow up like praying and things like that. Not that I didn't want to or anything, but I just never had to, because my dad raised me by himself, and his logic was his mama forced him to go to church his whole life. He was
Mhm.
grown, he could make his own decision, and he was not going. I could go if I wanted to go, I could go, but he was not going. He was not having any parts of it. So as far as like praying and believing in God and things like that, I don't feel like that was really like a thing for my dad. And as he got older, he did begin to, believe, because now my dad is disabled. He had a stroke when I was young, and he raised me. on his own after he went through like rehab, and but his insurance ended up not paying for that anymore. So he actually taught himself how to talk again, how to write again, and all that on his own. So kudos
Jesus.
to him.
Yes. Look at God.
But now a preacher does come to his house every Sunday and they pray, and like he gets his word and things like that. But he still has not ever went to church. But for me, as I grew into my adult life and I began to seek God and be more curious, I feel like I was able to provide myself with more of an open mind to what spirituality actually is. Like I was able to focus in more on what is spirituality instead of caring about a religion.
Yes. So let me help free your dad right now. Okay. I'm going to say this and probably going to get some flack. And guess what? I don't care. So we are the church. We, we are the
Thank you.
church
Because where is God? Where is God?
in us. His
Right.
spirit lives on the inside of us. We are the church. That building
Right.
is a place of fellowship. That's what it really is, where you come together to fellowship and worship God. And that's awesome. And I don't knock anyone because I've been raised in the church, then I didn't go to church, then my husband brought me
Hmm.
back to the church, then my husband passed away, things happened, and I
I'm
stopped
sorry to
going
hear
to
that.
church again, but I never left God.
Yes.
I never left God, and he never left me because he said he would never leave me or forsake me. So he never left me. He was with me everywhere I went, according to Joshua 1 and 9. He was with me no matter where I went, even until the ends of this earth. So there's no place I could go to escape God. I am the church. So I hadn't been inside of a physical building that they call the church for many years. And I can tell you right now, I wasn't a member of a church for quite a few years. But now, God brought me to a place. Hey, Demarcus, God brought me to a place where he said, okay, now I do want you to be aligned with the covering of a pastor. I do want you to. And guess what? He led me to that place. But it wasn't in other people's timing of them saying, you need to go to church. You need to, and I would tell
Uh-huh.
them the same thing. I am the church. Do you think that I'm any less of a believer because I don't go to a building like you do every Sunday? First of all, that's ritualistic and traditional, and I'm neither, and neither is God. Okay.
And
And so,
the judgment
yes,
alone will shy you away. Like simply because you're
yes.
judging me for not going, I'm not gonna go because y'all don't have the right to judge me.
Yeah, you don't. You really don't. It's self righteousness when they think they're
And
right because they go and you don't. And it's not true and it's not of God. And God is not in religion. I'm telling you, I'm going to get in trouble right here, but I don't care. It's
you're
good
not, because
stuff.
that is
Okay.
exactly what we stand for around here. Because
It's the
a lot
truth.
of I say this all the time when people ask me why I never went to church. I didn't like the character of the people that was already up in the
Mm,
church.
my
I
God.
know
Come
the people
on.
that's up in that church. I don't want to go to that church. Y'all ain't talking about nothing. Y'all
Come
can't
on.
tell me nothing about how to be and how to live and how to do things. But when I was younger, I used to always say too, but I still feel like as a spiritual person, I still feel that this is true. I don't feel that God is speaking to me through this person up here trying to tell me their interpretation of what this Bible means.
He will
It's
speak to
just
you.
allegory. And the way that the allegory goes can be interpreted in many different ways. That's why they have so many different religions and so
Yes.
many different heavens and hells and gods and all of these things. So it's just like it never sat well with me. Like, how can you tell me that that's what he meant by it?
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
and it is a person's interpretation. It is. And I know that to be true. And I tell people I do not deal in facts because facts change, but the truth does not. God does not change. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He is who he is, the great I am, El Shaddai, Elohim, Emmanuel. Yes, he is all of that and then some. He has over 100 names in that Bible, and
exactly.
each name is a different characteristic. And I think where we fail ourselves is that we don't know the characteristics of God. We don't know Jehovah Jireh, the provider. We don't know Jehovah Rapha, my healer. We don't know El Roi, the God who sees us. We don't know Jehovah Gabor, the one who wars on our behalf daily. But we should. We should. And we should get to know each characteristic. And how we do that is by building our relationship with him. And there's no third party to that. We don't need a mediator. We have him.
Mhm.
His name is Jesus. And people want to dispute and debate about that. But I will say this. I will say this as God has given me to say. If you believe that God can do everything except lie and fail, why do you then find it an impossibility and will not believe that he loved us so much that he wrapped himself in flesh and made himself in human form to save us from our sins and ourselves, and give us this life, and that we might have it and have it more abundantly? Why is that so hard to believe? He's God. He's God. And it
Literally.
escapes our minds because we got these puny little minds. We don't even use 100% of our brains that we have. So, of course, you can't comprehend the level of God. Otherwise, you
Mhm.
would be God.
And when you grow to enlighten yourself, when you make it your goal to be enlightened on different topics and the things that you do not know, you will then begin to see how and why things are the way they are. Like I said, I think a lot of the times people take the Bible for they're too literal with the Bible. And it's like, that's not exactly how you should be interpreting these things. So it's like knowing that God got you through your negative thought patterns and led you into actually being open to coaching other people. Because one thing I always say, I'm a transformational speaker. I pride myself on learning how to speak in transformation so that you get the information that you need in that time period, because my coaching is only going to my children. My energy that I pour out of my cup will be to who I brought into this world. So I admire any coach because I'm not. So, how, like in coaching, what are some of the most common, like, negative thought patterns that people carry with them? For me, I already know. And Des, Demarcus, thank y'all for being in here. I ain't even got a chance to acknowledge y'all yet. And everybody else in here, what are some negative thought patterns that y'all feel like y'all carry with y'all that kind of limit y'all from being who you need to be? I know, like for me, it's always imposter syndrome. I'll get somewhere and then it's like a little voice will come in. It's like, who do you think you is? Like, and that's the exact, like, that is the exact thing. Like, who do you think you is? And that'll stop me for a while. So as a coach, what do you feel like you
Well,
see the
that was a
most?
limiting belief. Well, let's see. I think the number one thing that I want to say that I see is I can't. I can't. I hear people say I can't more than any other thing. It's I can't. And I would always ask, who told you that? Who told you you can't?
Hmm.
Why do you think you can't? Because see, we need to get to the root of we need to get to the underlying issue, the root of why you feel like you can't. Why do you think that you can't? Why do you believe that? Who told you that? Right? So 9 times out of 10, it's us telling us that. It's us telling us. And how do you change that? I'll give you a tip here and you can learn more about it by visiting my website. Okay. Now, this
Yeah.
website is my speaking website, and it's where I offer the mindset coaching. It is just simply my name, sarah-osby.com. That's it. So, one of the tips is to replace those negative thoughts, right? So when you start thinking that I can't, when you understand why you're thinking you can't, you said, well, but wait, what can I use positive to replace this? I don't think I can, I can't. Well, how about I can because God said I can? How about I can because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made? How about I can do anything that I set my mind to? How
My
about
daddy
I
used to tell me
can?
that all the time.
Yes, yes. So that is one thing. That's just but one small tip that I'm going to give you to tell you how you can do it. But let me tell you what you need to do. The what is very important as well. Identify those limiting beliefs. Literally sit with
Mhm.
yourself and identify, be honest. If you haven't been honest and transparent with anyone else, be honest and transparent with yourself. Put a mirror in front of your face and speak to yourself. Why do I believe
Mhm.
this? Who told me that? Why am I holding on to this? And what am I going to do about it? Because it's your
Exactly.
decision. It's all up to you. It is your decision and yours alone. I can't make it for you. Mama can't make it for you. Daddy can't make it for you. Know how I know? Because God isn't even making it for you. He is giving you free will. That means you
Mhm.
have the right to make the decision for yourself. So if he gives you free will, can't nobody else take it away from you. That's
And
what
the
I
thing that I think parents don't realize that they do, and I've
say.
seen this be talked about like on social media and things so many different times, but it just reminds me of it when you say, "Hi, Miss Erica." Um, when you say your mama can't do it for you, your daddy can't do it for you, you know, as an adult, it's hard to let that go because we spend our life thinking about you teaching your child how to walk. And he fall over and over and over again. You like, get up, baby, you can do it. Come on, keep going. Come on, keep going. And then you become an adult and you fall and you call your mama, and your mama like, well, you can't do that. And it's like, but mama, it's
Right.
like I feel like that's what creates that validation that we spend our half of our adult life looking for that outside validation because the people who used to encourage us the most are now telling us that we can't do all of these things. So, as a child, when you grow up putting so much belief into another person, and then you get to that age where you're understanding that your parents are just people, because I'm at that age now where it's like my parents, especially my dad, that is my Superman. But I'm at an age now where I'm like, okay, thank you for all of the love that you poured into me. Thank you for all of the wisdom that you have poured into me. But I cannot hold your opinion so near and dear to me because you are just a person.
Yes.
I am a person as well. We are adults. You are my dad, but we are adults and you are just a person. I
Yes.
cannot hold that near and dear to me anymore because I'm not that little girl. I take care of that little girl now. You know what I'm saying? Now that I'm an adult, I take care of her. You took care of her when she needed you. Thank you. But now that I am the adult, I take care of her in the ways that she needs to be.
Yes.
And I think that's one thing that people really have to think about and let go of when it comes to everything about who told you these negative things and why they may have told you these negative things, because it's not that people don't want to see you doing good, but like you said, they have these little bitty minds, and it's hard for them to wrap their head around your big dreams and the things that you see for yourself because they don't see that.
Well, here's the thing. When God gave you something to do, He didn't give it to y'all. He gave
Hmm.
it to you. He gave it to you. He gave it to me to do a city book tour. He didn't give it to us. He gave it to me.
Right. Right. I remember, have you watched that Mufasa movie?
No, I haven't, but I will tell you that I have referenced Mufasa and the presence of Mufasa on several occasions just in the last few weeks because Lion King is one of my favorite movies.
See,
Yeah.
I love that. I did my very first podcast episode. You should go back and watch it. It's called Firm Foundations with Rashawn Barksdale. He has the most amazing Lion King reference that is just so mind blowing to me. But I watched Mufasa, and in Mufasa, it it says when it shows why Scar and Mufasa where they actually began to have their issues. And it was all behind Mufasa's wife. I don't remember her name right now for whatever reason, but when she figured out that it was Mufasa that really saved her and not Scar, because they
Nairobi.
had got into like a stampede, and Mufasa hurried up and grabbed her, and he when he grabbed her, he comforted her and he said, "I got you, I got you, I got you." And
Mm.
even though she was unconscious, it was another time that he had picked up Rafiki and put him on his back, and he said, "I got you," and she was like,
Mm.
I got you. Like that felt familiar to her. And they got into it. Her and Mufasa, they were always at each other's throats, but they got into it because she was like, Mufasa, just tell me that it was you. I know that it was you. Just tell me. And he was like, no, it was Tucker. That's Scar's actual name. It was, no, it
Oh,
was Tucker. It was Tucker. And she said, it's Tucker's destiny. Like she was trying to tell Mufasa, he is the king. You are meant to do this. And he was like, that is
mm.
Tucker's destiny. And she told Mufasa, it was Tucker's destiny to save you.
Mm.
And I feel like that resonates in my mind. That's how I think of us as we become parents. You know, like when you have, because me, I feel like my dad, he healed himself through raising me, and a lot of what he did, he explained it was because of what he didn't get in his childhood. So as I go into my greatness, that always makes me think of that because it's like it was his destiny to save me, to
Mm.
become the queen that I am meant to be. And in Mufasa, I'm like, wow, that is so powerful because Mufasa spent his whole life running from the fact that he was a king
Yes.
and wanting to put his destiny on someone else. So to hear his wife tell him, no, his destiny was to save you so that you could become king.
Yes. Oh
And I
my God.
feel that so strongly for
Oh
you, like when it comes to your kid,
my
you
God.
having your kids, because I feel like you probably would have heard the other people tell you, oh, you should write the book. But when your kids told you, I feel like that put that extra fire under you. So it's like it was their destiny to put that into you, and now you have completely transformed that into a whole other thing that I don't even feel like you could ever really have imagined.
Right. And I could not have. And you're right. So in line with what you're saying, it was my destiny to give birth to them, right? That later on in life, they would be adults that would then encourage me to fulfill my purpose in this land, right?
Yeah,
And so, how amazing is that? Right. And I'm so grateful. I'm grateful that God chose me to be their mother. Like, I am so
yeah.
blessed. I have three amazing sons, and I'm beyond grateful. God has been better than good to me. But when
I wanted all boys.
you did,
I
boy,
did.
mom
I
is a
did.
great life. I have to say that boy, mom is a great life because I know the hell
Yeah.
that I put my mother through. So
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm
And
just
God gave
saying.
me my girl first because I had so much trauma in the relationship with me and my mother.
Yes.
So
It
I
gave
had
you an
her first.
opportunity, right? To build
Yeah.
a positive
Yeah.
relationship that you would have wanted with your mother. Now you get to have that with your daughter.
Yep. And she's still so young, so I still have so much time
Mhm.
to improve because she's only 4 and she has
Oh,
autism. It's Autism Awareness Month, so I have to highlight that today.
yes.
Because it is a very creative and interesting journey, but it was hard. Like these first few years for me, it has been hard trying to figure out how to have this mother-daughter relationship that I've never seen modeled in a healthy way, that I've never seen be done. Like I've just never seen it. So I'm just like, what are we doing here? Like I
Yeah.
tell people all the time, she feels a lot like my little sister. That's just like we are at each other's necks all the time. And it's just like, goodness gracious. But I love it because I just remember the fact that I didn't have even these little moments,
Hmm.
especially at that young of an age. So it's like it's very trying,
Yeah.
but empowering as well. It is because she is so strong and just carefree that it's inspiring to me. Like I feel like I learned so much from her. But I just knew boys would be easy.
So I don't know about easy, but different, very different.
Yeah,
My
because
youngest
I have a
son,
son too.
they said, was diagnosed as having Asperger's, a form of autism. He is one of the most intelligent people I've ever met in my life. He has taught himself how to play the harp, how to play the keyboard. He plays guitar. He created, he created a new form of martial arts, and he taught himself how to speak 4 languages fluently, one of them being Arabic and Hebrew.
Wow.
So, and I think another is Mandarin. Okay, so nothing easy to tackle, but he did, and he did it so well. So he's so very intelligent. It's
Mhm.
just mind-boggling to me. But I love that you said, because you heard me say a while ago, about our words. Our words do have power, and the power of life and death is in our tongue, and we will have what we say we will have. And you said that your daughter has autism, right? Which for me, I love that you say it that way, because she has autism. Autism doesn't have her. Hmm. There's a difference.
My friend Cherry says that all the
Yeah.
time. Ugh.
Yeah, because it's a difference. It's a big difference. If autism have you, ain't no escape. That thing got a grip on you. It
Uh-huh.
got you. And that goes for anything. I used to be a cigarette smoker. I smoked cigarettes, and I would often say, "Oh, I'm addicted to smoking cigarettes." I had to make myself stop saying that. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I am not, because I'm a person. I was born December 21st. Take that for what you will. But
Okay, sad.
Ah, yes, honey. And I do not like anything having control in that way over me. Not
Mm-hmm.
in this world. God got it all day. I'm talking about this natural stuff. Not another person, not a thing to have control over me in that way. And so, again, in my younger years, it used to get me in a lot of trouble, but it serves me well now. It did. It did lots of trouble. I'm telling you. Sometimes I'm like, I cause my own stuff sometimes, but a lot of trouble. But now it serves me well. And that is how I was able to overcome smoking cigarettes. Just one day, April 24th, 2018, I was like, that's it. I don't want to smoke no more. I'm done. And I was like, I'm gonna smoke this last cigarette, and that's gonna be it. I took one puff and was like, oh, that's it. Threw it in the toilet. I was like, I'm done. I don't want nothing else to do with it. I'm done. After that, I began to uh, be around other people, and they were smokers, right? And these people that I was around, and they would say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and they wouldn't smoke around me, and that's fine. I'm not a peer pressure kind of person. I'm not a follower. So
Yeah.
if you could
Yeah.
smoke right next to me, and I wouldn't care, except for it stinks. Okay, and so that's when I began to understand. cigarette smoking on a different level. I was like, so I'm
Yeah.
just running around here cute and my breath smelling like hot garbage and nobody gonna say nothing.
Yeah.
Y'all not gonna say nothing. Y'all just gonna let me run around here with my breath smelling like hot garbage, thinking I'm cute. Like, no, you know. I'm like, tell me the truth. Shut it down, okay?
Okay. People are so scared to do that.
No, tell me. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know if you see snot in my eye, a booger coming out my nose. If you call yourself my friend or caring anything about me, you better say something. I don't care if it's a live broadcast, if I'm on TV, if I'm standing on stage, if it's just a few of you, better say something to me. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you don't care nothing about me.
Because I'm that friend, I'm already evaluating you before you go on live. If I know you got something to do and I'm right there, friend, you got a booger.
Yeah.
It's right there. Like,
Lipstick on your teeth. Get that. Like
yeah,
something.
something like that. So it's like we know that the power of words is what helps you cultivate that growth orientated mindset, because I honestly feel like it's such a teeter tot. I'm a Libra, so
Ah,
I'm always balancing and I'm always on the scale, but I see and I understand both sides of everything. So we know that the lack mindset is created in shortcomings and
yes.
letdowns, abandonment, negative thoughts. But like, changing your words and how you speak and the way you speak them is one way for you to grow into a growth mindset.
Yeah.
And once you decide to go into that and grow, everything around you slowly begins to change. Like I said on my podcast Monday, I created myself like a wash and rinse method for everything that I could possibly go through in life. Whatever I'm going through, I need to be accountable. I need to set some better boundaries to fix it. And then I need to be committed to upholding those boundaries that I have to set for myself and everybody else around me. And
Wow.
that method is what I speak to transform. So that way, the more I say it, the more fluent I speak it, and the more you are
Yes.
able to transform just by hearing it, because it's simply just a wash and rinse method. The
Yes.
example I give for it will go for any type of relationship, whether it be personal or professional. But this is something that you can take and do as many times as you need to.
Yeah.
And that is one thing that helps me really establish my growth mindset. So it's like, saying that, how do you feel like the failures and the setbacks in life play a role in growing a healthy and positive mindset for people to really walk in their purpose?
So, hmm, I guess I would really say that I know it plays a huge role. Okay, it's enormous. As after all, as the song used to say, "Free your mind, and the rest will follow." Okay, so in the in the mindset transformation, if you allow yourself, and I'm intentional about the way that I speak. So you have to allow yourself the ability to be intentional with your words, understanding that you do have the power to control your future with your words. You need to understand that it is so serious. People run around, they think they're just saying something. Oh, I was just making fun. But let me just go here. The enemy doesn't know that you're making a joke, doesn't care either. Will use every word that you say against you, every word to try to bring you to your demise. So you want to be intentional about your words. I am intentional about my words. And when thoughts come that I don't desire, that are limiting beliefs, I do just what I said earlier. I take those thoughts captive. I said, no, no, we're not going there. I'm not doing that. That is no longer who I am, and that is no longer how I respond, because now I do not react, I respond. but I
Mm.
choose the way that I respond with intention. So I move on purpose. There's very little that I do that someone can say, oh, that was an accident. If I stomp my toe, that was an accident. Everything else I do on purpose. I select what
Mhm.
podcasts I appear on purpose. The people that I have in my inner circle are on and with purpose. I tell everyone to have an amazing day in and on purpose. It's intentional that I say that. Have an amazing day in your purpose and on purpose.
I love
It's up
that.
to you. Yes.
I love that. I always say have the best day you can create. But I love that.
Mhm.
I love that. And then how you just broke it down and really emphasize the importance of the words and things that you say, especially because I'm the type of person like I will just say the first thing that comes to my mind. And sometimes it just do not be the best time or place to say these things, but I'm just such a truthful and like blunt person, that it can come off as a lot because it's like, well, dang, but it's like I don't know. It's like I have to. That's definitely something that I have to work on when it comes to because, like you said, you don't react, you respond with intention and purpose. But for me, in my mind, I just say it because I know I'm coming from love. Like I don't feel. I'm never jealous of anybody. I'm always loving to see people growing and doing the things that make them happy, whatever that may be, whether it be good or bad or whatever the case. Like I'm that person that when it comes to other people and things that they want to do, I tell them I'm nobody. If that's what you want to do, I am nobody for you to reconsider and change your thoughts and actions for. Do what you want to do. So
That's so funny.
I
I was
guess
just
I
going to say
because
that
I
to you.
know that I'm coming from love, I just
Yeah.
say it. And it's like, oh, that is not like China. That was not the
That's
time.
funny. I literally was going to say that, China. I literally was going to say, don't change. Even what you said. You said you love what I said. Thank you. But I love that. I love that. I heard somebody else say, make your own sunshine. I love that as well. I would never tell anyone, I'm like, this is what I say. This is what he's given me to say. The fact that you say that you speak and you said that you want to do that, but understand this, we are each made individually on purpose, right? And with an in purpose, which means you don't need to change who you are because of something that I said. You only change it if God tells you to change it. You know that your heart posture is right when you're saying these things to people. It is not
Hmm.
on you how others receive what you say when your intention is right. Okay. So I say that because there are people that may think that I'm too harsh. You just
Hmm.
too forward. No, because I'm obedient and I speak when he
Yeah.
tell me to speak and I say it the way he tell me to say it. And if you don't like it for some reason and you have a problem with it, I am going to recommend to you that you take it up with the Father because that's who I'm obedient to.
And I
Take it up with him.
always say, I'm the type of person, if I don't like what a person said to me, I'll make sure you can't say that thing to me twice. So if you didn't like what I said to you,
Hello.
make sure I
You
can't
always
say it
have the
again.
power to walk away, right? If you don't want to hear what I have to say, if you don't like when we're doing lives and like you can click a person off. You can turn off your
Yeah.
phone, you cannot answer, you can block, you have many, many options if you don't like what I'm saying. But what I'm not gonna do, what I'm not gonna do is say things just to appease a person or to say it that's gonna make them feel good because I'm
Better.
not there to coddle. I'm not
Hmm.
there. People will coddle you right to hell. I'm not there to
Okay.
coddle you. Just say it.
I
I,
love that so much because I tell people all the time, I feel like this is hell. Like people be like, oh, but when you're going to go to hell, this is hell. This is hell. You've experienced pain, you experience loss, you experience all of these discouraging things. Like so many negative things are able to impact you here that you would never be able to be touched by if you were on a higher frequency,
Mhm.
or in heaven, or however the person believes that. But so, and because ever since I was younger, my mama has 11 kids. Two of my brothers have passed.
Mm.
When I was 10, my first brother passed. And he comes to me in my dreams. And it has been ever since I was a little girl, and he's always fine. He's in it. He looks different as well. Like he's not that 14-year-old boy that got shot in a drive-by. That's not who is presenting himself to me. Like in one dream, it felt like we were just going to meet up with him because he had moved off, and like he kind of had like the little gold tooth and the little top fade, and I'm just like, what in the world? Because that was not his norm. And I brought that up because I had a dream about him literally Monday night, and he was fine. So it's just like I feel that this is a such a lower vibration, that when you evolve and you go up and you just enlighten yourself beyond this world's capacity, that's what creates more of a heaven like feel. Because, like I said, I perceive the Bible as allegory. So I feel like the same way hell is a state of mind or a state of being, so is heaven.
Mhm. So, and with that, let me tell you, that is why my coaching program is based off of a scripture. Okay. And it is based off of Romans 12:2, because we're told, right, to not conform to this world,
Mm-hmm.
but to be transformed by the renewing, ing, which means ongoing, of your mind. That means on a daily basis. So when you said growth mindset, I'm like, I hope they understand what she's saying. Growth is a continual thing. It is not a one
Mm-hmm.
off. You don't, that's why I don't tell people I'm grown. No, I'm 55 years old and growing. I'm an
And you was
adult.
beautiful.
I'm an adult. I'm a mature, responsible adult, but I am not grown. When you are grown, when flowers, when plants are grown, when they bring forth the fruit that they're supposed to bring forth, and it's plucked. I don't want to be plucked. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm only
Yeah.
55. I want to be here for a long time. Okay, and do everything that I'm supposed to do so that when I leave here, that I leave empty. Empty meaning
Mm-hmm.
empty of every gift and talent that God has put in me. I want to have used it. I want to be empty.
Man, I love that.
Yeah, I want to be completely empty
Man.
when I leave here.
That is
Yeah,
a great way to say. And I love that you said you're only 55, because
yeah.
people do not think how long Black people used to live.
And look
You
at
know,
me.
okay, beautiful.
honey.
Beautiful. There's no crack in the black, period.
That's right.
But
That's right.
it's just like
We
I
lived a long time.
yes, like well into the like
Yes.
hundreds. Like so to say you're only 55, that's like a person that's 50 and a person that's 25. At
Yeah.
55, you still got a whole
Yes.
long time. You got 55 plus more years to go. Like, that
Yes.
is such a long time to continue to be pouring into people. And I
Yes.
think when you live your life worrying about how many people you're supposed to impact,
Hmm.
instead of worrying about how you have been impacted by people, you grow to want to live longer,
Yes.
and want to be more of use in the world, because I don't have a problem being used. It's the misuse of a person.
How it did. There you go. There you go. It's the
Like,
misuse. That's
yes,
it.
if you can take what I give you and transform that into whatever you need it to be for you, that is what I'm here for. But if you
Mhm.
take my words and try to turn them against me or use them for negative toward another person, that is misuse, and that has consequences and repercussions.
That's right. Well,
So it's just like,
I said it before and I'll say it again. I don't even fight anymore. I don't even fight anymore, China. My thing is this, any hand or tongue that rises up against me, God Himself will condemn. It has been proven. I don't need to do anything. Instead, now I turn when people, a woman cussed me out. I was on the phone and I'm walking into a store and she trying to ask me something and I'm not responding. She cussing me out now because she mad that I'm not paying her no attention. Well, I know how I would have reacted in the past,
mhm,
but I did not. I instead turned around and I said to her, I said, God bless you. And she looked at me like, what did you say to me? And I said it again. I said, God bless you. And I turned around and I went in the store and I was laughing. Get behind
mhm.
me, Satan. You ain't got nothing over
Okay.
here. Okay? You got nothing over here. You can't control me. You can't pull it out of me. And you won't. Because it's guess what? I buried it. It's dead. It's dead.
Mhm. And you have to know how and when to identify demons. Like that's just
Yeah.
like you remember that black woman that police officer shot on live because
Yes.
she said, "I rebuke you."
Yes.
She said it three
Yes.
times and he shot her,
Yes.
or two. You know, I think she said it two times. But it's
Yeah.
just like who would have? It makes you wonder, especially as a spiritual person, like had she said it that one more time,
Mhm.
what would have come of that person? You know,
Yes.
like
Yes. Yes.
so it's just
Yes.
one of those things like you have to grow to be able to understand when you're dealing with a demon because everything the same way you are a godly being having a flesh experience, demons
Yes.
can do the same things. You know,
And
people don't
do.
understand angels fight demons. So the
Yes.
same way you can encounter an angel is the same way you can encounter a demon. So you have to know how to deal with them. I'm
Yes.
not there yet. God is still working on me
Me too. I'm a work in
in that area.
progress.
In that area. I
There's
probably
no
can a little
progress
better.
without process, you know?
Yeah, I probably can a little better because I did have a very trying neighbor at one point. Um, and I had a moment that I was proud of myself in because, you know, I fought with my ego when I got done because in the moment it was like, girl, like my ego was like, she kind of just pumped you out because you ain't say nothing. And
Hmm.
it's like,
Nope.
I feel I don't feel like a punk, but I feel proud because I know
Yes.
how that situation could have turned for me.
Yes.
Because the more I grow and the things that I gain, I'm like, I don't want to lose these things. Like you can win this little argument because you ain't touched me. So you can win this little argument, but I don't want to lose all of these things that I have gained for myself. So that kind of bit my
That's
tongue.
yes, that's it. Because even when it looks like I tell all the time, you see on the screen, Sarah, all I do is win Osby. That's
And I
no
wanted
matter
to
what
address that
it
because I love that.
yeah, no matter what it looks like, I win. I started winning when I decided to transform my mindset, and it really did change my life. So, no matter what it looks like, I win. There's no failure in God. So, as long as I'm with
Mhm.
Him and He's with me, I can never lose. What you thought? Check His record, it is impeccable. Millions of battles and no losses. How could I ever lose as being His child? I can't
Exactly.
and his
And you
presence.
cannot
No, you
exactly
can't.
because you cannot do anything to go against that. And people don't understand that when you grow to change your mindset and you make that decision, your soil is now rich. And the thing about people who are rich in things outside of monetary value, they are able to grow so many different people. I love telling the experience of my first time ever leaving Missouri. And it was in 2021. And I had just wanted to do things different. And I went to this women's conference by myself, never been in the airport, don't know nothing about flying, don't know nothing about Atlanta, but I'm here. I have been following Tracy Bryant Swint who for so long and she was doing a live and she was giving out free tickets and I said if I win this ticket I'm getting there no matter what. I don't care what I got to do to get there. I'm going. And I won. And I went and I walked in that room with so many different women. Now, at the time, to me, it was very inspiring because these women are millionaires. So I'm like, they have all of the monetary things that I want. But as I talked to those women and they welcomed me in that room and they, enlightened me and poured into me and gave me tools to then be where they are, I noticed that these people are a completely different type of rich. It's like the richness inside of me attracted these monetary things to me, but people just do not understand the richness that are in people who choose to be led by faith. Because
Right.
the things that you give, like the words that you tell me, would be more beneficial to me than any amount of money that you could ever hand me.
Yes.
And
Yes.
those are the type of men and women that I hope to help create, and I hope to just continue to fill my cup with, because I don't mind not having 10,000 friends. In all reality, I got a good solid 3, 4, you know. So, and
Roots.
that's fine, but as long as I can continue to connect with people like you and like those women, and I've met men on that same frequency. It's like when you choose to be led by faith, you are a completely different type of person,
Yes.
and you're able
So
to transform people in so many different ways.
so sometimes people will think that things that I'm doing are crazy, you know. They're like, that's crazy. That's insane. I'm like, honey, that's God. I'm like, because, and the reason why I say it's God is because it doesn't align with what is normally done in the
Yeah.
natural. So now it seems so strange to you. But if I could just quickly tell you about how it seemed crazy that I would start a business and I had no money. It would seem crazy. I'm not even known for cooking, but I'm obedient. So I do what he has instructed me to do. And it is because of that obedience that I had that Facebook page, that woman was able to go live and I was able to see her and I was able to be obedient and sign up and be a contributing author in this anthology movement, that now I'm sitting here before you and have been on all the other podcasts I've been on and spoken on all the different stages and to the people and done the different workshops that I facilitated. Why? Because I was obedient. Because I was obedient, and the obedience is better than any sacrifice that I could have ever made. And I'll put it to you in a practical way. We have children, right? I don't care if they sacrifice going to their friend house if they're going to be disobedient to what I told them to do. Do what I
Mhm.
said because I'm your mother and I know what's best and I'm protecting you, right? So how much more do we thank God? How much more do we think God's like, no, I know what's best. This is why I'm telling you no. This is why I'm saying
Exactly.
not right now. And sometimes
Mhm.
a no doesn't even mean no, like you can't have it at all. It's just no, not right now, a not yet. And
Or
I tell
not
you,
from this, or not from this person.
not from this
You
person,
can't
not at
take.
this time, not in this space, not,
Yep.
not right now. It's just a not yet. And so I
Yeah.
tell people I've learned to get a yet mindset. That's what I'm teaching on next, a yet mindset. Okay. So now when I say things like, so the Voices on Paper book tour, it it was but a he gave it to me in such an incredible way. Like I had no idea. It was nothing that I could have ever thought of for myself. And I will readily tell people that, right? But he gave this thing to me and I started saying, well, okay, so we need sponsorship. He told me you get sponsorship for the book tour. Okay. And then I had to tell the ladies, I was like, listen, we need sponsorship. We don't have, this was like 2 months ago. We don't have sponsorship. And then I said, yet. And they looked at me. I said, yeah, yet. He told me to say yet. And then because I get dealt with acronyms and I get all these acronyms, which they'll find out in my upcoming book, but yet has an acronym, which is yield, expect, and trust. Yield to
Mm.
God's timing and plan. Expect that his promises will be fulfilled and trust that he is working all things for your good. Just get a yet
Wow.
mindset. Just yet.
Man,
Yet. So I'm
that's
not
deep.
in millionaire status yet, but I'm on my way. I'm not sitting on my 30-acre estate yet, but I am on my way. I'm not in that customized chauffeur driven Bentley yet, but I am on my way. My name is not a household name yet, but it shall be. Yet. Just yet.
Yeah. And that is a great way to actually look at everything and really create that growth mindset that people need, because like you said, it that's not the end all be all. So you have to remember that. I just really want to know. I need that book because I just really want to just
Which,
skip straight to your story.
look,
But
which one?
also, though,
This
I know
one?
that they all talk. Yes, that one, and I would love to talk more about that because what exactly is the 8 city book tour like? One, where are y'all going? First of all,
Okay.
y'all, the link to the tickets to get to be in the presence of this beautiful woman is in the banner that's going across www.voicedonpaper.com. Go there, get your tickets, and let me know how it goes because I want to just imagine all of these women in this space. Are you guys going to be, is it going to be like the panel like we discussed where y'all sit and, talk about it, or?
So it's going to be each individual speaker, each individual author that is on the book tour is going to have a set amount of time in each city that they're going to speaking before people. They'll either be reading a short excerpt from their book, or they'll be speaking about their book. They'll be making a presentation about their particular books. And each author on the tour has more than one book. So they'll be talking about their books. The books will be in the building, right, on for sale, and to have the book signing, so you can have your book autographed by each author. We are going to be starting out in New York City. So we'll be New York City, then Baltimore, then Charlotte, and then Atlanta. And then we go on break and we come back in Memphis July 11th. And then we head to Houston and then Columbus, Ohio. And then our farewell city is Chicago. And we will have a farewell brunch the day after the book tour. So on the 26th of July, we'll be having a farewell brunch where there'll be 50 tickets sold, only 5 VIP. There will be prizes. There will be photo ops with the authors, as well as some special giveaways. And so we invite everyone to join us there as well, understanding that the seating is limited. It is truly
Mm-hmm.
limited. Each of the events are held in a hotel conference space. And so it will be in the Hilton Hotel conference space. And so that space is limited to the capacity of people that we can have there. So I want to make sure that I say that and understand also that ticket sales will end on May 23rd at 11:59 p.m. sharp. So you do want to get your tickets. And if you are looking to be a sponsor, we are still seeking sponsorship. So if you are looking to be a sponsor for Voices on Paper, just head over to the website, voices-on-paper.com. And there is a space for sponsors, and you can go ahead and fill out the short form for sponsorship. And your logo will be proudly displayed on our website on the sponsors page. And then you will also have some other perks that will be involved with that. So that is where we will be. That is how you can find us and join us, because this is history in the making. It has never been done before.
I cannot. So when we get the tickets, can you book the tickets for like the individual cities? Because Memphis is nothing but an hour and 30 minutes away from me. So that just definitely made me so excited.
Yes,
And
yes,
then on the
yes,
11th of July, that's 7/11. 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 is my number. So that's just so exciting.
yes, 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 yes. And I'm telling you, it is going to be a time to be had. Singing, comedy, poetry being read, like it's going to be amazing. A book signing like no other. So I
That's
really am
great. I do
excited about it.
poetry as well, so I'm definitely so excited to hear that. That is going to be great.
Love it. And I want people to understand, though. I really, really, really want people to understand. It's not just about us selling books. It's not just about celebrating our literary accomplishments, but we are looking to make an impact in each city that we touch. We want to encourage, to inspire, to motivate, to edify, to share our stories, right? And help encourage you through those. So we want to do this in each city that we touch. These 8 cities are the cities that God has given to me. This is our first book tour, and I'm overjoyed. I'm blown away, and I'm in awe of all that is happening because this is my first production, obviously, of this 8 city book tour, and I'm blown away. And the women that I have going along with me, oh my goodness. We have a woman that has overcome more than 38 years of abuse. Yeah, that's right.
Goodness.
More than 38 years of abuse. We have breast cancer survivor, like just myself. I'm a survivor and overcomer of child molestation and rape, also of mental health illness. We just have such a wide range of people on this tour. I'm telling you, there's a woman that was comatose for days and had to relearn how to live life and what life really was for her all over again, all because of a tragic car accident. Like there's so many powerful women on this book tour. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. It is one of a kind. There is no other like it. And what a way to be a part of history, right? To have your picture with this other author in this environment to capture the moment and say, I was there. I was in the room when this happened. I was there. I
Yeah.
was a part of pioneering this thing. Yeah. So I'm
And
super
I'm
excited.
telling y'all, that is such a transformational feeling because when I went to that women's conference, I always say that event alone changed my life. Like, and it changed my life because it changed my mind.
Yes.
And that's the key. Like, once you change your mind, your life has no choice but to change because you're no longer going to be satisfied with the things that you have. Like, I cannot wait to see this book. And then you said, if this is just volume one,
Yes. Volume
is volume
two,
two
I have a
on the
woman
way?
from
Or
volume two. She Stand Up Volume Two is on Amazon as well right now. Volume two, I have one of the authors from volume two on the book tour with me. And she's
okay,
amazing. She is a breast cancer survivor, and she has a nonprofit based on that breast cancer survival called Two Sisters for Life. And she did lose her sister, her younger sister, to breast cancer, but she overcame it. And so she has the nonprofit Two Sisters for Life, and she's on the tour with us. We have a special guest speaker. Oh my goodness. And she is a breast cancer survivor and has a book speaking about the pink experience, her journey through breast cancer, and how God revealed to her in a dream that she needed to go to the doctor, that she had this breast cancer, even though when she went, they told her she didn't have breast cancer. They told her that she did not have breast cancer. But if she had listened to them, she would not be able to be on this tour with us today because she wouldn't be here. So it's women like that that are on this book tour. I mean, I can
man.
tell you how I came from homelessness to being all that I am now because of that. So all of those things that happened goes back to what you said earlier. All of those things that transpired in my past, all of those negative things that appeared to be negative at the time. And yes, It was
Hmm.
evil for somebody to molest me at just 6 years old. It was evil for somebody to molest me at 9 years old. It was evil for someone to rape me. Those were evil things. It was horrible. But let me tell you about the God that I served and how he took those very things and he used them for his glory and my story. Out of my story, he get the glory because now I'm telling
Uh-huh.
everybody, but look at me now, baby. Look at me now. I'm stronger, I'm wiser, I'm better. Look at me now, okay? So all of those
And
things
for
that were
all
meant
those
to break me,
people, yeah. Because
yeah,
it's
for
like, look
all of
who
them.
carried you through. Look who
Yes,
carried you through. Of
yes,
all the people who were supposed to do these things,
yes,
and people don't understand that's why you should be okay with giving God the glory because you got to look around you when these things are getting done. Like, okay, well, look who still got you through,
yes.
because nobody else could
Nobody.
do anything for you in that moment. And then, in the black community, it's a very keep it on the down low type of
Yes,
mentality. So no one helped you heal but God.
that's it.
Nobody walked through those things with you
But
but
God.
God.
You know how you know?
People
Because the
forget
moment
Jesus
when,
experienced evil things,
yes,
so they
yes,
forget.
yes. And you know how you know that it's only God that can help you? Because in those moments that I felt like I can't do this anymore, there were suicidal thoughts. I'm telling you, I almost stepped off the curb in front of a bus. Okay. Yeah, but God, but God. And it's because of those moments where I felt like I couldn't make it and I just give up. Like, I just don't want to be here no more. I literally said a prayer asking God not to wake me up after my husband died. I didn't want to be here anymore. I didn't want to. And he said, no, I have much for you to do. So here I sit, right? But I know it was him because in those moments, it wasn't my strength. I didn't have the strength. So how did
Mhm.
I get here? He carried me, just like that poem about the footprints in the sand. It was him that carried me. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I can sit here now and be proud
Yes,
enough to say with godly confidence that I made it. I'm here and I'm on my way to my next. And I'm ready
and
for
I
it.
love that. Because as a kid, I always wondered, why did I think I asked my daddy this. If Jesus had the power to change water into wine, why did he choose to feel the pain when they nailed him to the cross? Like, why
Yeah.
go through all that pain if you are who you are?
Yeah. And he could have been like, you die,
This
you
don't
die,
hurt me.
you die, you
Yep.
die. And they would have been gone. He could have smited everyone. He could have smited everyone and been a ruler, right? A
Right.
ruler. But God, in all his grace and his mercy and his loving kindness, said, no, I'm going to take this for them. Talk
Hmm.
about taking one for the team, okay? I'm going to take this for them that they might be free.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
And that's exactly
Oh,
what it
oh,
was. And it's like, that's exactly how you're able to be here and tell your beautiful story today and and have the strength to do this and
yeah,
say it with confidence and actually have healed through it so that it can continue to inspire men and women and just anybody that needs it. So I'm
mhm,
so honored to have had you on today. You remember when we talked, I told you, I don't know what it is with you, but it's just one of those things. It's a connection that I feel like I'm supposed to be having. Like when I talk to you, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing that. Like that is a part of what will get me to where I'm going. So it's just one of those things like I always need every bit of it because I have always been the type of person I don't have to fall and bump my head to listen to you. So it's just like that's why I'm just like I feel that I can speak in a way that will transform people because if they're anything like me, the words alone will get them that'll get the wheel going.
yes,
And it's like it's
yes,
women like you that really show and really embody the fact that it is possible to be wherever it is that anybody imagines to be.
yes, yes, it really is. And I hope that people really do understand that. And I want to help them to get to a place where their mind is so free that negative thoughts don't stand a chance, that you don't even use the word I can't, except you're being intentional as I am now in saying it, because it's not a part of my vocabulary any longer. So before I leave, I do want to say that I do want you to join us on the book tour. I am having a pre-sale campaign that will be launching this month for my upcoming book that will be on the book tour. It is a book of spiritual equations. And I know
Oh,
some people might be saying, what is a spiritual equation? Well, let me tell you. A spiritual equation is a concept that seeks to reveal spiritual truths and principles using spiritual language and mathematical structure. Okay.
hmm.
So that is what a spiritual equation is. And I gave you an example earlier because that's the very first spiritual equation that I received was no discipline plus no discernment plus no boundaries equals destruction. So I want you all to be on the lookout for this book. This is the cover of the book of
Oh,
spiritual equations. Yes, yes, yes. It will be on the tour with me. And I am doing a pre sale campaign, as I said, this month. So follow me on Facebook and Instagram at
yeah.
Sarah.
Can you put like your links in the comments for people to have there, like
Yes.
just for people when they go back in the replay to actually be able to find you. Because God blessed me. Okay. I just so happen to be on the OWL app, which is a great networking app for any
Yes.
business owner or entrepreneur who wants to put themselves out there. Because like I told Sarah, I'm from a small town. There's no way in hell I would have been able to
Yep.
come across a woman like her without that. So that is a great source, and now we're here today. So just leave your information in the comments for people so they can go back. Don't forget y'all to get that link that's going across the banner because that is how you're going to get the ticket to the book tour.
Yes.
And also, that's how you're going to get connected to all of those other beautiful women that she's talking about that she's going to take on this book tour as well. So I hope they see this episode and just know that there's so much more to come in this. Everything about it is just beautiful and divinely guided. I loved everything about this episode today. Thank you for being here. I hope all the viewers understand and take away how to be more self aware and how to actually transform their mindset. And if not, I done put the person on here to help you get to where you're trying to go. So if you still didn't get it and it's still not clicking, do not be afraid to hit up Miss Sarah. As you see, her soul is very beautiful, very open, and she can pour into your cup all of the things that you may need.
So I
So,
am putting on the in the chat, but it's not letting me post it. I'm not sure why.
yeah,
Yeah, but it is just my name,
maybe.
Sarah. Yeah, Sarah Osby Ventures Incorporated is on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Um,
Can you send it to maybe try to put it in the private chat and maybe it'll let me copy and paste.
okay, I'll do that right now. I almost did the
Because
old
they
people
need to
stuff,
know.
y'all. I almost did the old people stuff and talk while I type. I laugh, but everyone does it, so I
Yes.
just laugh
And
now.
I'm so thankful for all of the people that came and viewed this podcast today. I hope that it was everything that anybody may need. I always get a word from it because I'm just that type of person. But I hope that this was everything that anybody needs. Miss Sarah, thank you for coming on here with me today and helping me touch, enrich, and enlighten all of these people. And I hope and I cannot wait to continue to see you grow into who you are meant to be. And
Thank
thank
you.
you for coming on here with me today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. It was my pleasure.
You have the best day you can create.